The PlayStation 5 has no shortage of jaw-dropping titles, but some games don't just impress, they absolutely stun. From high-octane action to unforgettable stories and genre-defining gameplay, today we're running through 20 PS5 games that are absolute bangers. Whether you're a longtime fan or just picked up a DualSense, this list is stacked with must-plays. So grab your headset, charge your controller, and let's dive into the best of what PS5 has to offer. Let us know which game is your favorite, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming content every week. Released in August, Black Myth. Wukong is a mythological action RPG developed by Chinese studio Game Science. The game draws heavy inspiration from the classic novel Journey to the West. You play as the Destined One, a mysterious warrior with staff fighting skills and the ability to transform into different creatures. Your mission is to uncover your true identity and claim your place as the next great hero in a world where gods, monsters, and ancient legends collide. The story is rich with Eastern folklore delivered through gorgeous cinematic storytelling. The combat is challenging and tight. You can parry, dodge, and cast magical abilities mid-fight. The game also rewards exploration with hidden paths and collectibles. Players noted that this game is one of 2024's must-play titles. Gran Turismo 7 is the latest mainline entry in the legendary racing sim series from Polyphony Digital. Released in March 2022 for both PS4 and PS5, it marks a return to the classic GT formula. This game is all about a journey through automotive culture. You'll complete menu books in the GT Cafe, which guide you through collecting cars, racing in historic tracks, and learning about the manufacturers behind them. It's a racing career dressed up as an educational tribute to car history. Whether you're tuning a 1994 Supra or competing in a rainy Nürburgring showdown, every little detail matters in this hyper-realistic gameplay. With post-launch updates and the inclusion of VR support, GT7 has cemented itself as a showcase racing title for PS5 owners. Stellar Blade is a sci-fi action RPG developed by South Korean studio Shift Up and was released in April 2024. It introduced players to a unique world filled with post-apocalyptic energy and anime-inspired flair. You play as Eve, a sleek, cyber-enhanced warrior sent from a space colony to reclaim Earth from monstrous alien invaders called the Nightaba. The game's world is shattered, humanity is scattered, and the mystery behind Earth's fall unfolds as you progress through ruined cities and alien structures. Combat style features parries, counters, and acrobatic slashes that reward timing and precision. You also unlock new abilities through upgrades, and the PS5's haptics really make each swing and impact feel powerful. Alan Wake 2 is one of those rare sequels that doesn't just live up to its predecessor, it surpasses it. Released in October 2023, this survival horror game is developed by Remedy Entertainment, the same team behind the first game. The plot plays with dual realities. You play as both Alan Wake, trapped in a nightmarish alternate world, and FBI agent Saga Anderson, investigating a string of ritualistic murders in the Pacific Northwest. Their stories intertwine across realities, giving variety to both narrative and pacing. Gameplay leans heavily into survival horror with limited resources, creepy atmosphere, and intense third-person gunplay. With high praise for its storytelling, direction, and visual design, it earned multiple Game of the Year nominations. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the most breathtaking open-world experiences on the PS5. Developed by Sucker Punch Productions, the game is set in 1274 during the Mongol invasion of Japan. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai forced to abandon his honor to protect his people. As the world around him changes, Jin tries to find a balance between tradition and survival. The narrative is emotionally heavy, while the combat is fluid and satisfying. There are precision sword fights, stealth mechanics, and beautifully choreographed standoffs. The PS5 upgrade brought smoother frame rates, faster loading, and immersive DualSense feedback. Hailed for its stunning visuals and heartfelt storytelling, it remains one of the top choices in story-driven action games with depth. You don't usually think of your RPGs when you hear co-op, but Baldur's Gate 3 took the RPG world by storm. This game redefined what a modern Dungeons & Dragons experience could look like. You have turn-based combat, cinematic dialogue, and a living, reactive world that you can fully explore with friends. Set in the Forgotten Realms, the story kicks off with a parasite in your brain that threatens to turn you into a mind flayer. That's your first problem. Then there are gods, devils, cursed cities, and deeply personal character arcs. The story is massive, and every player in your party can make their own decisions. But be careful, your decision will affect everyone. The Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition comes with every gameplay update and all previously released content in one package, including the acclaimed spy thriller expansion, Phantom Liberty. Developed by CD Projekt Red, the game is set in the dystopian Night City, where you play as V, a mercenary with a military implant that contains the consciousness of rocker rebel Johnny Silverhand, voiced by Keanu Reeves. The story unfolds in a world full of corruption, cybernetics, and rebellion. With Phantom Liberty, you dive into spy thriller territory, working with a secretive agency and Idris Elba's Solomon Reed. Gameplay includes guns, hacking, melee, stealth, and branching dialogue. The Ultimate Edition is praised as a redemption arc in gaming history. Ben Studios' Days Gone is an emotionally driven, open-world game that follows Deacon St. John, a drifter and former outlaw biker. Set in a post-pandemic Oregon, 2 years after a viral outbreak decimated the country, Deacon isn't just trying to survive, he's searching for the truth about the wife he lost during the chaos. Along the way, he battles raiders, cultists, and the infected while clinging to memories of his past life. The gameplay is a mix of stealth, third-person shooting, and vehicle survival. While the game features the usual scavenging and crafting loops, it shines through its story. Deacon's character arc is one of pain, redemption, and reluctant heroism. The Last of Us Part is a remake of the 2013 original, and it rebuilds the legend from the ground. Released for PlayStation 5 in September 2022 by Naughty Dog, it's not just a visual upgrade, rather it's a reimagined masterpiece. You play as Joel in Part 1, who is a smuggler tasked with escorting Ellie across a ruined United States. Ellie, a teenager, is immune to a world-ending fungal infection. Their bond deepens across cities, forests, and firefights, turning a brutal journey into something deeply human. The remake brings smoother gameplay, smarter AI, and enhanced combat realism. While Part 1 is a remake, Part 2 is a direct sequel to The Last of Us and came to the market in 2020, receiving a PS5 remaster later in 2024. Parts Esquinaos picks up 5 years after the first game, where you play mainly as Ellie, now grown and hardened, who embarks on a mission of revenge after a tragic event shakes her world. The stealthy, fluid, and brutal gameplay sneaks you through tight corridors, craft bombs on the fly, and get into white-knuckle gunfights. Hailed as a masterpiece, fans love the series and its ambition as the game's left a lasting mark. This fourth entry in the Uncharted series marked a powerful end to Nathan Drake's journey. Released in May 2016, it's developed by Naughty Dog, and it's one of their finest works. The story finds Nathan retired from treasure hunting until his long-lost brother Sam reappears and pulls him back in for one last adventure. They chase pirate treasure across jungles, tombs, and ancient ruins, all while Nate tries to balance his domestic life and thrill-seeking past. Gameplay blends climbing, puzzle solving, stealth, and fast-paced shooting. Gunfights are intense and cinematic, and the levels are vast and detailed. Critically acclaimed and adored by fans, Uncharted 4 is often seen as the perfect send-off for the franchise's beloved hero. This sequel to 2018's God of War brings Kratos and Atreus back for another myth-shattering journey. Released in November 2022 and developed by Santa Monica Studio, Ragnarok delivers the final chapter of the Norse saga. The story picks up a few years after the last game, with Fimbulwinter freezing the Nine Realms and Ragnarok looming. Kratos and his now teen son, Atreus, face gods, giants, and their own growing differences. It's a deeply emotional tale about fate, fatherhood, and sacrifice. The refined and explosive combat will let you wield the Leviathan axe, Blades of Chaos, and new abilities while switching between characters. The game won Best Narrative and Innovation in Accessibility at the Game Awards. Released in April 2021, Returnal is a PS5 exclusive developed by Housemarque and stands out for its mix of roguelike structure and sci-fi storytelling. You play as Celine, an astronaut who crash lands on a hostile alien planet called Atropos. But there's a twist. Every time she dies, the world reshapes itself. As she tries to break the cycle, she uncovers haunting memories and surreal visions, blurring the line between reality and madness. Gameplay is fast, responsive, and unforgiving. Each run has you battling aliens with different weapons, dodging bullets in high-speed combat, and slowly unlocking permanent upgrades. It's challenging, but addictive. With smooth controls and mesmerizing environments, the game is praised for its originality and atmosphere. A spiritual successor to the Dark Souls series, Elden Ring continues from software's legacy of brutal action RPGs. It was released in February 2022 and developed in collaboration with George R.R. Martin, who contributed to the game's lore. You're dropped into the lands between, a shattered realm ruled by demigods and crawling with grotesque creatures. Your role is to become the Elden Lord by collecting great runes and restoring order. The story is as cryptic and open-ended as you want it to be. The classic open-world gameplay is fair, deep, and incredibly satisfying. You can build your character however you want. Explore hidden dungeons, summon spirits, ride your spectral horse, and take down colossal bosses. Praised for its freedom and design, Elden Ring received universal acclaim. Astro Bot is a cheerful burst of creativity. This is the follow-up to Astro's Playroom, developed by Sony Interactive Entertainment. This new title takes everything players loved and turns it into a full-blown 3D platformer. There isn't a heavy story, but it's packed with charm. You play as Astro, the adorable little robot, on a mission to rescue his scattered crew across more than 80 unique levels. Each stage feels like a playful love letter to PlayStation history. Gameplay is tight, smooth, and imaginative. From jetpacks to spring-loaded suits, Astro constantly gains new abilities that change how you play. And with DualSense haptics and adaptive triggers, every movement feels responsive and fun. This one might surprise you in the best way possible. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, released in October 2021, is a standalone action-adventure game developed by Eidos Montreal. It's not tied to the MCU, but it nails the spirit of the Guardians we know and love. You play as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, leading the team through a galactic mess of cosmic threats. The story is heartfelt and funny, filled with banter, choices, and unexpected emotion. The team dynamics shine as Rocket, Groot, Gamora, and Drax clash, bond, and grow over the course of the game. Combat puts you in control of Quill, but you command the entire squad mid-fight, triggering special abilities to chain combos. Praised for its writing, fans called it a hidden gem. Terminator. Resistance is technically a prequel to the Terminator and T2 Judgment Day. Developed by Teon, this game is set in a post-apocalyptic future ruled by Skynet, where you play as Jacob Rivers, a soldier in the Resistance. The The plot follows his journey across bombed-out cities and deadly wastelands as he tries to survive the machines and uncover his role in the war. You meet characters who may or may not have seen your future, and the game thrives on that sense of dread. The gameplay mixes stealth, scavenging, and gunplay. You can upgrade weapons, hack machines, and slowly build your strength. Its gritty and atmospheric tone will hook you from the beginning until the end. Released in November 2023, RoboCop. Rogue City is a first-person shooter developed by Teon. This isn't a sequel, but rather a new entry in the RoboCop timeline, set between the second and third films. You step into the titanium boots of Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop, as he patrols a crime-ridden old Detroit. The story sees you uncovering conspiracies and corruption while laying down justice in classic RoboCop fashion. Peter Weller, the original actor, returns to voice the character. Gameplay is pure retro action with slow, weighty, and brutal motion. You can toss enemies through windows, scan crime scenes, and upgrade your gear. The choices you make also impact how the story unfolds. With the throwback tone and authenticity, it's a solid load of nostalgic style. Kena. Bridge of Spirits is the debut game from Ember Lab, and it feels like a playable Pixar film. It's a standalone action-adventure title, and it swept players off their feet with its stunning visuals and emotional depth. You play as Kena, a young spirit guide who helps restless souls move on by restoring balance to a cursed, decaying forest. Her journeys through the mountains and ruins of an abandoned village uncovers the pain left behind and helps heal both land and spirit. Gameplay blends staff-based combat, puzzle solving, and exploration. You also collect adorable creatures called Rot, who help in battle and manipulate the environment. The fighting may look cute, but it can be surprisingly challenging at times. This is a sequel that took its time. Dying Light 2. Stay Human was released in February 2022, developed by Techland, building on the parkour zombie action of the original. You play as Aiden Caldwell, a drifter with a mysterious past who arrives in Villador, one of the last human settlements. He's looking for his lost sister, but quickly gets pulled into the political chaos and survival struggles of the city. What's unique here is that every choice you make shifts the story and even alters parts of the city. The gameplay is where it shines. There is fluid parkour over rooftops, brutal melee combat, crafting, and a day-night cycle that ramps up the horror after sunset. Beware, in the dark, the infected become far more dangerous. Ending with the newest face on this list, Clair Obscur. Expedition 33 launched in April 2025 for PlayStation 5 and is developed by French studio Sandfall Interactive. This is a brand new RPG with a very artistic flair. The game is set in a surreal, dreamlike world where every year, a mysterious being called the Paintress awakens and erases people over a certain age from existence. You are part of Expedition 33, a group determined to break the cycle and confront the Paintress head-on. The plot mixes dark fantasy with emotional themes about memory and mortality. Visually, it blends painterly aesthetics with surreal landscapes, while combat looks like a turn-based, tactical hybrid with real-time elements. Delivering on the expectations, it might just be one of the breakout RPGs of the decade.